Hey everybody, it's your boy Sir Rod. First and foremost, I think you guys are digging my stories. Now, I want to share one this is a quick one. But it's a good one. It's a good one. Back in the day, you could pick people up on the side of the road if they were walking and, give them a ride. And I hardly ever did it, but I learned my lesson and I don't do it. I don't care, I see him on the side of the road. My heart bleeds for him, but I can't give him a ride. I can't. But how I learned my lesson, I'm originally from Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida. While I was there, driving on the highway, there's a bridge called the Howard Franklin, and it's like 14 miles long. It's a big, long bridge. So I'm driving, and I'm going across the bridge, but just before I get to the bridge, about maybe a mile or so before I get to the bridge, I see this brother on the side of the road. So I know he's got that bridge is like 14 miles long. So I felt sorry for him. I said, I'm gonna help a brother out, give him a ride. So I pull over, and he says, I said, you going across the bridge? He said, yes. He said, I just need a ride just over the bridge. I'm going that way. I give you a ride. So he gets in. First thing that caught my attention was he looked a lot smaller on the side of the road. When he got in, he kind of filled the hole. He was a big brother. And he had this big Frederick Douglass afro and the beard thing. Kind of looked like a big Frederick Douglass, like a Green Mile Frederick Douglass. He's big. So he kind of filled my car up. But I'm just giving him a ride across the bridge. So he gets in. He has a little backpack thing, and he gets in. We riding. And so we exchanged the normal pleasantries. And, hot day today. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the weather's pretty nice. And about halfway through that bridge, he starts looking over at that water. And then he says, did you hear about that story about the mutiny on the ship? And back then, I kind of vaguely remember it was some kind of incident that happened on a boat. There was a mutiny, and they ended up taking the life of the captain. And I just remember mutiny. But I told him, I said, yeah, I kind of remember that story. He said, well, I was on that boat. For real, you was on that boat? He said, yeah, I was a chef in the kitchen. And when they killed the captain. Yeah, they killed the captain. Then they came in there talking about they want to try to get me. And I told them, I said, if y'all kill me, I'm going to come back and I'm going to scratch your eyes out. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I realized that I had messed up. I realized that the elevator wasn't going all the way to the top. He didn't have a full six-pack. I knew I was in trouble. So at that point, I'm riding. He finished telling me his story, and we get over the bridge. And so the original arrangement was I was just to let him out right there at the end of the bridge. So I was going to pull over. He said, brother, could you do me a favor? My exit where I'm going is just right up an exit so-and-so, so-and-so. Well, where I was going was like 1 mile just right over the bridge. But I was going to tell Frederick Douglass Green Mile guy, no. I wasn't trying to get my eyes scratched out. So I said, sure, we'll go a couple exits up, like 5 miles out of my way. We got 5 miles out of the way. And out of my heart, I was so happy when he said, right here is good. And I pulled over. And as he got ready to go, he said, by the way, brother, you got a couple dollars? I reached in my pocket. I gave him $5 or $10. Here you go, brother. God bless you. God bless you. And when he closed that door, I said, God, I promise you, I'll never, ever, ever, ever do that again. Yeah. I knew I messed up. Scratch your eyes out. It's crazy. As a bat. But anyway. He ruined it for everybody else. That was the last hitchhiker I picked up, ever. Now, Only thing I can give you is a phone and some advice if I do see you on the side of the road. I can't give you a ride. Unless you're Halle Berry or somebody. I'm going to give you a ride. That's all I got.